You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
It's time to spin round the rim. This is Desert Planet Discs. Star Wars music in a single file. Here are your hosts, Carl Bayless and Greg Robertson.
Do you know what's going on?
Rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping. They blow stuff up, then blow more stuff up. Rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping. What do you do when the fate of the galaxy depends on you? What do you do when the Emperor and Darth Vader tell you what to do? You take your blaster, then you blast off in your fastest ship tonight. 'Cause rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping. They blow stuff up, then blow more stuff up. Rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping. The rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping. They blow stuff up, then blow more stuff up. Rebels are rebelling and stormtroopers are stormtrooping.
All right, men, load your weapons.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to track 12 of Desert Planet Discs. This is going to be a Stormtrooper or Trooper special this week, this month, this year, this quarter. Kicking off the show there was friend of the show, Royish Good Looks, with Stormtrooping. As we mentioned in our last show, please go and check out Royish Good Looks on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can hear good music. Go and check him out, and obviously check out his podcast as well and subscribe to his podcast. But you might also have heard, kicking off the show prior to Royish Good Looks, our new fancy fanfare, which has been created by good friend James Semple for Fantha Tracks. So huge thank you very much to James Semple for that cracking fanfare. But before I move on any further, it'd be remiss of me to not introduce my Sant to my Trooper, my Biker to my Scout, my TIE to my Fighter, my partner in crime, Carl Mooncap Drums Bayless. How you doing, sir?
Hello. Not too bad, thanks. And yourself?
Oh, all good. This is the busy time at work at the moment I'm going through, and it's nice to be able to record a DPD to take my mind off the madness at work.
That's it. A little light relief.
How are things with yourself?
Yeah, good. Buoyed by the strange golden ball in the sky.
Absolutely. It's something we don't see up here very often. Every podcast I've been on recently, I've had to point out the fact that we don't get sun in Scotland very often. And it's frightening for us bald-headed, peely-wally Scotsmen.
Yeah, as I say that, it's just clouded over outside. So you've sent all the clouds this way, obviously. Yes, a Trooper-themed episode for this track 12. So we're going to be talking lots about Troopers, obviously Trooper theme running through the songs. As we record this evening, we've just had the Hasbro Pulse I Am Your Father's Day reveal. So we'll be going into that in not too much detail because of the sheer amount of stuff they announced.
It's like they've been holding things back. You'd think there wasn't like a big Star Wars themed holiday just passed, or two technically if you class May 25th, but yes, they've been holding back because I Am Your Father's Day is fast approaching, and what better gift to buy your dad than the gift of Star Wars?
Yes, or the gift of a pre-order.
Yeah.
give him a piece of paper that says, Dad, I've ordered this figure for you that comes out in 8 months' time.
It's just like being in the 70s again, getting an early bird special.
It's the internet equivalent of the early bird certificate.
Yeah.
Here is my online retailer of choice Pre-order. As we say, we're recording this on June the 9th. 8th, 9th, somewhere
it's the
around
9th, which in my world is Bill and Ted Day in America.
Bill and Ted Day in America.
Because they mix the dates up back to front. So it's
Party
69
on,
dudes. So we'll really celebrate Bill and Ted Day in the UK in September. But yes, 69 dudes. And as we record this, on the topic of 69, we've had 6 episodes so far of The Bad Batch.
We have. How are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it so far. The last episode was really, really good, especially with having the battle droids back. There was some nice little, homages to Toy Story 3 with the kind of the sort of big melting, droid parts and Danger there. Bit for Tuna. That was the episode before, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was Rampage, wasn't it?
What they called the
Martez sisters.
Yeah, making an appearance. More Chopper, I've Got a Headache, which I'm sure they're going to have to wrap that I've Got a Headache storyline next week. But this week.
It seems that old Wrecker seems to be...
Wrecker, sorry, I said Chopper, didn't I?
There you go. I didn't even spot that, but there we go. Yeah, he's been complaining of like headaches and rubbing the side of his head where the inhibitor chip would be since quite early on in the series. And
episode 3, I think.
Started the good soldiers obey orders mantra a little bit under his breath. So interesting to see whether that does come to the fore, and it's a pivotal moment in an upcoming episode. But yeah, as we've said about a lot of the Filoni related properties, the storytelling is just A1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of little breadcrumbs being dropped here and there. And yes, Filoni has got it down to a T in the Star Wars arena, but by no means is it an exclusive thing. You've got, people like Stephen Moffat and Russell Davis.
Yeah.
We're doing that in Doctor Who and things like Sherlock, things like that, where you get these little nuggets dropped in that only when you know the end point, you can then go back and rewatch it all and go, that's why they did that.
Yeah.
It is just great storytelling at the end of the day.
Brilliantly done.
Lawrence Kasdan as well, Solo, which I recently rewatched for its anniversary.
Nice. A film I've been meaning to watch for a few weeks now. I'll get back around to watching it. I was just going to say, on the topic of Bad Batch, what I thought was really nice this week, we haven't seen Crosshair in 3 or 4 episodes, I want to say now.
No.
But it was nice when they asked Wrecker to go up to the top of that platform. Obviously, we get a gist that he's scared of heights, but
yeah,
the fact that he was like, no, Crosshair would do that. That would be Crosshair's spot.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're still thinking of Crosshair, and I'll be interested to see how that story pans out. Will he come back to the fold? Are we going to lose Wrecker in the process, or is Tech going to get his datapad chip reader thing, which I imagine is going to look like the Star Wars Comtech reader?
Yeah.
We need to have some use for that thing.
That's it. That's it. Recycle them. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how it's going to pan out. It's crazy. We're only 6 episodes in. Yeah,
10 I think to go.
Did I say 16 episodes in this first season?
Yeah, I think it's 16. So yeah, 10 more. So we're not even halfway yet.
Yeah, universally, people are just loving the show, loving the animation style, the music. Kevin Kiner's knocking it out of the park with the score. Particularly in the last couple of episodes, you've had very real sort of prequel reminiscences, parallels. The establishing shots again this week, Ord Mantell and the sort of backstreets of Ord Mantell, just gave off that whole vibe of when they went back to try and find Django. Yeah. So really enjoying it.
It's very good. Looking forward to episode 7.
As you say, we're only six episodes in, so we're only really a third of the way into this first season. So a long way for it to go yet, and certainly a lot more twists and turns for the story.
Absolutely.
And not only have been watching the Bad Batch, we also, along with several of our Fantha friends, took in over this last weekend the Ash live stream featuring former guest on Desert Planet Discs, Mark Hamilton on bass, performing their now 25-year-old album 1977 in full, and that was brilliant.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
That was
nice to be able to hear them play classic album kind of live. It's the closest we've had to a live gig for a while.
Yeah.
For just the energy for those songs, and hearing some of the songs that they don't normally play live was awesome.
Yeah, that's one of those things with these sort of playing the album in their entirety type shows. Is obviously a regular Ash gig, you will get Oh Yeah, and you'll get Girl from Mars. But it's some of those deeper cuts that when we all went out aged in in the 90s and picked it up, you know, each one of those songs has a memory attached to it, or, you know, establishes a time in your life when you got the album. So to hear all of those songs, and for me, it really worked, that whole sort of playing it as if it was a gig.
Yeah,
the sound was really good, obviously, because it's been played live in a controlled studio type environment. The time when it really hit you that it wasn't a full-on gig is in between the songs.
Yeah.
So where you would normally hope to hear rapturous screams and applause and
yeah,
or if it's any of my gigs, the dog barking.
Yeah. Yeah,
and the bar staff dropping a pint glass behind the bar. That was the only bit for me that sort of took you out of that gig mindset, was the in-between song bit. But it was thoroughly enjoyable. And
if you're
by the time this is out, hopefully you should still be able to pick it up if you're interested. Just go to any of Ash's online pages, the Facebook page or the website, and you'll find links to it. Or, of course, they have announced a tour later in the year, so you could indeed pick up a ticket to actually go and see them in person, where I have absolutely no doubt there will be rapturous screams and applause in between each of the songs, although they might not play 1977 in its entirety. So
it might just be, even if it's just me screaming and applauding, it'll be live.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the Roundhouse at the bar, ladies and gentlemen, so come and join me.
And of course, also joining you there will be friend of the show,
Keeler.
the Martin Keeler. Yes.
Did he comment on the fact that we missed him last time we spoke, or was he happy with the little PS we did at the end?
Oh, he was almost gutted, and then obviously we had our little secret Marvel-esque end credits scene featuring Martin. So
yeah, it would be remiss of us to totally miss mentioning Martin Keeler
in an episode. Yes,
of Planet Discs.
It would.
Shall we kick on with some more music, sir?
We'll kick on with some more music. This is a lovely, lovely track by an Icelandic artist called Bara Heida. Apologies to her if I've mispronounced her name. You can find her, I found the video on YouTube, and it's Baraheda, and the song is called Stormtrooper. You can also find her on Bandcamp at barahedabandcamp.com. And yes, having rooted thoroughly for Iceland in the recent Eurovision Song Contest, nice to bring some more Icelandic sounds to the show. So this is Baraheda with Stormtrooper.
Doesn't see me, head in the clouds, mind in the sky, Stormtrooper. Where does it lie? The honor, the glory, a blank staring eye, a limp, lifeless body, lies for us all. Duty will call this Stormtrooper.
Death Star plans are not in the main computer.
Once again, that was Barahida performing Stormtrooper all the way from Iceland. As we pointed out earlier, it's barahida.bandcamp.com if you want to go and purchase some of Bara's music. I hope you enjoyed that. So what are we discussing next, Carl? It's something that's going to break our banks and our wallets wide open, I think, isn't it?
It is. Fittingly for I Am Your Father's Day, Hasbro decided to hit us with the daddy of all announcements with a Hasbro Pulse live event this evening. And yeah, to say they weren't holding back is somewhat of an understatement. So
one thing I'd like to point out, though, before we dig into these, for a release that's called I Am Your Father's Day, in that list I can only see one dad. And it's not Darth Vader, it's Galen Erso.
Galen Erso.
That's the only one I can see there that's actually a father.
That we know of.
That we know of.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, certainly weren't holding back with this. It was only about 35 minutes in total, but boy did they get through some product in that 35 minutes. So to give you a quick rundown, we had
deep breath.
The Mission Fleet Razor Crest, which they did actually tie in with the Father's Day theme by showing the Daddy Razor Crest,
yeah,
and then the Baby Razor Crest.
Here's what you could have won,
Yeah,
and here's what you're getting.
So yeah, if you did miss out on the HasLab Razor Crest, you can now pick up the Mission Fleet Razor Crest, which is obviously also probably aimed at all those dads that have bought the vintage collection one and now think, oh my god, when this arrives, my toddling little child is going to smear it with jam or... No. So now they can have their own little baby Razor Crest.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, joking aside, the Mission Fleet Mandalorian pack that's out there at the moment already is brilliant.
There's been a couple of times I've been in the supermarket and I always go past the toy aisle to see what Star Wars goodies they've got.
Yeah.
And I've been very tempted by the Queel and Blurg because, for one, there has so far been no Blurg.
No
available.
other version.
There is a Queel, which we'll get onto. But yes, the Mission Fleet's a weird sort of set. My kids have kind of grown up with the like Galactic Heroes. I think it was the previous version.
That's what I was going to say. It's very reminiscent of that. It's very stylized.
Yeah, and it was a good entry point.
A little bit like the Disney toy box figures as well, in the style, obviously not in the scale.
I was going to say, yeah, a lot smaller, but yeah. So my eldest now grew up sort of starting off with Galactic Heroes, and this obviously moved on to the
it's a Black Series
and Black Series now as well. Balance. Yeah, go on my bank balance. In fact, he just got a Clone Wars figure in the post today. But yeah, so he grew up with with the Galactic Heroes. So I've got a lot of them through the house, which now his younger brothers are now playing with, and it's a nice entry level for the younger kids.
Yeah.
But I am tempted by the Queel and Blurg. I mean, even the Razor Crest, because I didn't get into the old HasLab.
HasLab, no.
Hi, this is Vanessa Marshall, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
Moving up the scales, we then got some vintage collection announcements, although they did sort of split these throughout the whole of the live stream. But in no particular order, they announced Hoth Rebel Soldier, which very similar to the recent Black Series, albeit I don't think you can swap the faces on this one.
All right.
But yeah, again, using their new photo, all these they were going to great lengths to stress that they were all using the new photoreal paint application. So the faces are much, much better than previous incarnations of those figures, or figures in general, because they're now using this photoreal paint app. So
although you don't get a swappable face with the Hoth Rebel Soldier, you do get top of the swaps with Bo-Katan.
You do. A really nice Bo-Katan vintage collection. And unlike several of the previous helmeted, unhelmeted characters, which kind of goes back right the way to the vintage, or the original, as they're now calling them, the retro line, but those, the original Kenner figures. We got, I think the first ones we got really with those swappable helmets and things like that with the Return of the Jedi. You got the Lando skiff disguise and Leia in a Bouche disguise.
Like a Bouche, yeah.
So, as they said on the stream, one of the compromises that they always have to make with those is making the unhelmeted head look good enough, but then either making the helmet bigger so it'll fit over a plastic sculpted head, or then it becomes outsized potentially, so it looks a bit odd. So they've bitten the bullet on this one, and you can actually just swap the head. So the helmet head looks perfectly in scale and is robust, and equally the unhelmeted head looks very, very good, very lifelike. Does, of course, pose the issue for you of what happens to the head that you're not using at any one time, and I guess the openers out there will be stressing about losing one or the other.
Well, it seems fitting as it's Bill and Ted Day to say 2 heads are better than 1. It's double the pleasure, baby. Triple the fun.
And rounding out the vintage collection, we got a couple more Mando figures announced.
Beauties.
Yes. We got a vintage collection Queel.
Yes, finally.
As Greg says, unfortunately, still no sign of a blurg, but keep chipping away.
Yeah, Star Wars Santa is getting a little bit happier because he's got Queel coming. But at the moment, Hasbro is still on the naughty list at the moment because there's no blurg for him yet. No
blurgs, but there we go. And possibly the pick for me of the vintage collection announcements was Mithril, the blue fishy alien guy that cropped up in episode 1 as the first bounty that we see Mando snare, and then reprised in season 2 as Grief Karga's accountant. And the unwitting help on their the mission to that Imperial, was it the depot one, that one? It was the one where we got Blue Jeans and the troop transporter.
Yeah.
And the Lucasfilm employee with his leg in the shot. Hastily digitally edited out now.
I have to say, the thing that most impresses me about this figure is the bounty puck with the mithril head.
Like the little, like the hologrammy type effect. All of these, to say they are that 3 3/4 scale figure, they are absolutely beautiful. And obviously come on those vintage style card backs. But really, really nice to see that line getting more and more love as time goes on. And in fact, later on in the reveal, we got some of the pipelines, but we'll come back to those in a bit. While they were still on the vintage collection, we got to see some of the shots of the prototypes of the HasLab Razor Crest that started arriving at Hasbro recently, and indeed Jon Favreau himself dropped in to check it out, and they did like a bit of a behind the scenes sizzle reel on that Razor Crest, and it did look stunning. I kind of regret not getting in on that one. But, money was too tight to mention, so I had to give it a miss. There we go.
So are we moving up a scale now?
We're moving up a scale.
We're going up for Black Series, the 6-inch line, kicking off there with more of the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary archive line.
Yeah.
And another New Hope Leia with donuts. Yeah. Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi. Good timing with Kenobi just around the corner again.
Yeah.
501st Clone Trooper.
Always a favourite. The the old clone troopers. And again, I think that they pointed out that kind of dovetails in neatly with the recent 50th, the mini clone packaged line, where you'd got Hawk and was it Rex?
Hawk and no, it was Echo, I believe.
It was Echo.
Yeah. Echo. And quite fitting for our Trooper week, having a 6-inch Trooper coming. It's coming.
Yes, definitely.
In the 50th line.
Definitely.
But last but not least in that 50th archive line was Darth Revan.
Yeah.
Is this the third release of Darth Revan in Black Series? I want to say it is.
That's a very good question.
I think they did they showed one, a Gaming Greats, and now this one. It could be
okay. I know they've done like a regular Revan in the old black and red boxes. I know they did the Jedi Revan, which I think that came out under the Gaming Greats line.
Yeah.
But yes, revisiting that again, keen to loop in all sorts of different properties and media releases. So that's one for the gaming community. Again, these Black Series figures now, especially the archive line type things, you know pretty much what you're getting.
Yeah.
With the New Hope Leia and Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, obviously those have got the photoreal paint app again, so they were pointing out, you know, that some of the previous releases Obi-Wan was a little bit too ginger, and you know, they've toned that back more with the photoreal to something more approaching Ewan's hair colour in the film and things like that. So those are pretty nice looking figures. The Clone Trooper and Revan photoreal doesn't really come into those.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's no skin tones and things like that to reproduce. But again, as with most of the Black Series stuff, very nice.
Yeah, looking
additions. Stunning. And certainly the Troopers are going to be popular with army builders, I would guess. And prices on those always seem to skyrocket as they become more scarce. So nice that they're hitting that archive line, which is geared exactly towards that, to try and not take the bottom out of the collector's market, but certainly to, you know, help people that have got into Black Series collecting later and now face the choice of eating for the year or picking up that elusive figure.
Who needs to eat?
Yeah, it's overrated food.
The next batch was quite exciting as well, eh?
It was. As a massive fan of the film Rogue One, we got what they kept referring to as Complete the Crew, which they gave a nod to the Rebels wave that they put out, and the new figure, certainly to hook into that Rogue One crew, they announced Bodhi Rook, which, after our discussion on the last episode of Riz Ahmed's film Sound of Metal, that looked just like a little mini-me of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It did look really, really good.
And
and that's coming out in the new angled box with the artwork along the side, and Rogue One has been given a sort of light blue turquoisey type colour for its band across the front and the smoky effect along the bottom of that artwork. So Rogue One is a sort of turquoise colour.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, they didn't say, but I guess it kind of keys in. I'm just looking at my celebration poster here. Kind of keys in with the nice lagoons of Scarif.
Aye.
As a sort of colour tone. Whether that had anything to do with it or not is anybody's guess, but that's certainly something that would tie in with that slightly. And we also got announced reissues then of the rest of the main Rebel crew, so Jin, Cassian, K2SO, Chirrut and Baze Malbus, all again with the photoreal paint app.
Yeah.
And again, all looking streets ahead of the original releases.
Absolutely, they didn't look amazing. To be fair, the original releases of these, so it's a real world of difference between the previous ones and these ones.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm particularly excited about Anton Merrick, which was obviously revealed, I think, May 4th in Vintage Collection as part of the X-Wing package.
Yeah. And
Galen Erso, Mads Mikkelsen. Anton Merrick will forever be known to me as that guy from Cutting It. Program my wife forced me to watch many times over and over about hairdressers in Newcastle. I think it was set.
Yes, I think it was, wasn't it? So,
hairdressers in love, and it wore. That was a tagline.
There we go. So quite a few Black Series there. Black Series collectors. If you thought you got off lightly on May the 4th, it's just come back round to bite you.
It's come to haunt you now.
Yes.
Especially with the next announcements, which was the pipeline reveals.
The pipeline, yes. Started this, I think, at the start of the year, which is their sort of. These are the figures that we're going to be doing, but we haven't even really got the prototypes or any production designs of yet. It's just like these are some of the figures that will make up lines somewhere along the way. So heading back to the Black Series, we got announced a Jeddah Patrol Stormtrooper. So that's obviously going to form another part of this Rogue One line.
Nice.
I was going to say Jabba's right-hand man, but he actually stands on his left for most of the time. So
very true. Fortuna.
Yes, Mr. Fortuna. We also will be getting Mayfeld from The Mandalorian, Bill Burr's character.
Yes.
In his trooper stroke tank driver garb, disguise, call it what you will.
Head swap.
Repack
with a head, the swap of a head, but I'm quite excited about that. I love Bill Burr's stand-up comedy, and it's nice to see him getting a Star Wars figure.
Yeah. And then sticking with The Mandalorian, we also got announced, well, I guess this next one could be, you could end up with this coming out in 2 packages, I guess. One for The Mandalorian and one for the Bad Batch, because it is Fennec Shand.
See, I'd be quite excited to get Fat Bib.
Fat Bib from
from the end of Mando season 2.
Yeah, although then do they double package that for Mandalorian packaging, and then if Book of Boba Fett comes out in a different colour, presumably Fett green.
Yeah, stick him in that. That'd be pretty nifty.
That'll be one of those the deluxe figures, surely.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a deluxe figure.
Yeah.
A deluxe figure.
Yeah, Fat Bib.
The Royale with cheese of Bib Fortuna figures.
Yeah. But there we go.
Also announced in the pipeline was...
Unsurprisingly.
Can you guess, ladies and gentlemen? Another Boba Fett. The Nomad Boba Fett, which I'm very excited about. I thought it was a really cool look with this Tusken Raider kind of vibes in there, as well as bits of mixed mash of all sorts.
That I could actually see being done as one of the deluxe figures.
Yeah.
Because you can effectively have the look that he turns up with, that very nomadic, as you say, almost Tusken Raider-esque. But then you could have all his Fett armour that you can then, swap onto him or whatever to give you that sort of hybrid look that he has in the latter episodes, where he's got the helmet and the chest plate and the backpack. So it'd be interesting to see how they do that one. And then we have a half Fett,
fake Fett.
Yeah, as I think as we coined the look as being the school mufti day Fett of Cobb Vanth. So,
I'm starting to think that Hasbro have a bit of a fetish.
Oh, yeah, they have a fetish. They like producing things that make them money.
Yes, and Boba Fett's sure to make them money.
Yes. So so we're getting Cobb Vanth as well. Again, There was no product details or anything, but you would pretty much guess that that's going to come as the armoured, what do they call them, the Marshal.
Yeah.
It's going to be that sort of look. So again, presumably you're either going to get a removable helmet, or maybe the Bo-Katan is the way they're going to go forward with these things and actually have swappable heads. But those are all Black Series pipeline. And then Vintage Collection pipeline, not being ones to waste their moulding, and scaling down Bib Fortuna. So we're going to get a Vintage Collection Bib Fortuna.
Nice. And then a character who doesn't get enough love, and he should.
Yes.
Lobot.
Indeed. We're getting a Vintage Collection DJ Elliott.
Yes, indeed.
Which will make him very happy.
Make him very, very happy.
Yeah, we just need Black Series now.
We do. Absolutely. Let's go Orlando for sure.
Yeah.
This next one, the last Vintage Collection one, kind of excites me, is a Navarro Cantina playset.
Yes. They kind of just went, oh yes, we've got another Vintage Collection announcement, and it's not a vehicle, and it's not a figure, it's Navarro Cantina. So yeah, that's got a lot of potential, and kind of suggests that you will be getting more Vintage Collection Mando figures.
Yeah.
With which to pad out said playset.
I'm thinking there might be a certain Mr. the Martin Keeler might be getting excited about that playset, because there might be the potential of
hashtag Navarro Cantina.
Hashtag Navarro Cantina. Yeah. There might be the possibility of getting a Cayuso, I don't know if you pronounce the species, but a Constable Zuvio species.
Indeed.
Figure, because they were seen quite prominent in that playset, in that scene.
Yes. Maybe that'll be the exclusive figure it comes with.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Because those Vintage Collection.
To swap out the head.
Yeah. And that's it. You can either have it as Zuvio or other Cuso with the goggles.
Yeah.
Who we're assured isn't Zuvio.
It's not Zuvio. No.
And then finally they decided to tease us slightly with an announcement of another HasLab project. Haven't even delivered the Razor Crest yet, and we're getting another HasLab project sometime, I think they said towards the end of the summer.
Wowzers.
But this is going to be a Black Series.
So it's going to be a big beast.
So it's going to be a big Razor Crest. No, they did point out that this was not going to be a vehicle. I immediately thought, maybe it's going to be the Crater, the Razor Crest.
Yeah. I have a couple of suspicions.
Yes. Now,
what do you suspect it was going to be?
My initial thought on it, joking aside from the Crater, is Jabba's throne room with a Jabba.
See, that was one of my initial thoughts as well. It would either be like a Cantina playset or a Jabba's Palace playset. But having just talked through that list and some of the forthcoming Black Series figures, I'm wondering if it's going to be like a big crate dragon. Because you've got the Marshal in there. Obviously, you've got Boba played too heavily in that episode. The Sand People out already. Obviously, you've got Din, or Din, I should say. Yeah. Just thinking, could it be a creature? Could it be a big creature?
A big creature? Yeah. No, that's got. I mean, again, who's to say it's not? I don't know. What could you do, HasLab? We're thinking Black Series going Black Series 6-inch. Don't forget you get Black Series helmets.
That's
Black
true.
Series weapons.
Yeah.
So could you have a full set of Black Series Stormtrooper armour?
It's an interesting one. I don't know how that would work licensing wise, but obviously they've got licensing for the helmets. But are they getting?
But that was one of the things they did with Rogue One, though, wasn't it? They tweaked all the helmet and armour designs slightly.
Right.
Seem to recall reading. So specifically for that reason, so that they didn't have any licensing or reproduction issues. because they've tweaked the designs only ever so slightly.
Yeah.
But they now have Disney copyrighted Stormtrooper armor.
I think it's going to be a playset or a creature. I can't see them moving into the armor
cosplay market fully. No.
But yeah.
Yeah, Sabers wise.
Sarlacc pit.
A Sarlacc pit, yeah.
With another Boba Fett.
With another, yeah. Acid stained Boba Fett. So, yeah.
Quite an announcement.
If any of our listeners have got any ideas of what they think the upcoming HasLab project may well be, then fire us an email to show@panthertracks.com.
Indeed.
And put Desert Planet Discs HasLab in the title, and it'll get to us. And we'll give you a shout out, and we'll discuss through some of those suggestions. So yeah, if you think we're talking rubbish, which we normally are,
we usually are, yeah,
then fire your suggestions in, and we'll rate them a bit like Pick of the Pops.
When we're not talking rubbish, sometimes you might find us singing rubbish, such as Ewok stole my speeder bike.
Yes, well, he's probably stolen it to pay for some Black Series figures for all his little baby wocklings. So, in keeping with our trooper theme, the stunningly talented Darth Elvis and the Imperials are coming up next with Ewok Stole My Speeder Bike.
Hey, this is Mark Hamilton from Ash, and you are listening to Desert Planet Discs.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Ewok Stole My Speederbike, taken from the album 4 by Darth Elvis and the Imperials. I believe that Darth Elvis is quite a handsome gentleman. You can check him out on YouTube at youtube.com/Darth Elvis, where you'll find him playing tunes with his friends, Darth Elvis and Friends. You'll find some old Darth Elvis and the Imperials live footage, and you'll find the occasional Darth Elvis solo number, such as the recent video for Chut Chut, his parody of Lionel Richie's Hello. Chut Chut.
It's me you're looking for.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. Very much fun, that one.
One of those crazy in the shower moments, and yet a song idea just pops in your head.
There we go.
Much like the one we've just been talking about off air, which I'm going to get to writing sooner rather than later and get it out.
Yes. Stay tuned for the world exclusive on upcoming Darth Elvis material.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and talking of Darth Elvis and material, you can also support Darth Elvis by heading over to TeePublic for the lovely t-shirts that we mentioned on the last episode, the May the 4th episode. Mine arrived very, very quickly and is very, very lovely. I was going to say was very lovely. It still is very lovely.
Still is very lovely.
I went with the Planet Tatooine Beatles pastiche drawn by the ever-talented Andy Lith. And yes, had a lot of comments about it when I've worn it. So
fantastic.
Hats off to Andy.
Yeah, good work, Andy. Well done, sir.
Hats off to you for the song in the first place.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There we go.
You may have seen Carl wearing that splendid Planet Tatooine Darth Elvis and Friends t-shirt on Good Morning Tatooine.
Yes.
You were on the show like 2-3 weeks ago now, wasn't it?
3 weeks ago now, yes. Good Morning Tatooine, for those of you who haven't tuned in yet, is Panther Track's weekly news roundup and discussion show. Usually airs on a Sunday evening, although it's bounced around a little bit over the last couple of weeks because of people's schedules and things that were going on. So the last episode went out on a week ago tonight, in fact, last Wednesday.
A week ago today, yeah.
And that featured your good self.
I was on that episode, and I didn't wear my Darth Elvis and the Imperials t-shirt.
Yes.
I didn't want to be. Didn't want to look like a follower of fashion. I thought, I'm the rule. I'm like the trend.
Yeah.
You see.
Yes. So Desert Planet Discs. That's us. Good Morning Tatooine. Always worth a watch. You can interact with Brian Cameron, who is the news anchor, and whoever he has on that week as his guest. Say, I was on there a couple of weeks ago. Greig was on there. Mark Newbold and Mark Mulcaster, both from Making Tracks, have been on in recent weeks since the show came back. So always worth checking out, and get your name up in lights if you make a suitably poignant or witty comment. Check it out. It's, as I say, Sunday evening, 9 p.m. UK time, and that's on Facebook Live. And then afterwards goes onto the YouTube page. I guess you can probably find it somewhere in the Facebook feed as well.
Yeah. I think it's also live on YouTube at the same time. I think both live at the same time.
Ah, right, okay.
Technology, baby.
Technology, always beyond me.
What music delights have we got next, Carl?
Musical delights. Well, this is a song we've had kicking around in the background for a good while now, and it's one of those that when we first found it was a song that we thought, we've just got to put this in the next show. It's just great, really, really good song. And then we thought, no, we'll bide our time. We knew we were planning some of these specials, and we were going to do a Trooper special because there are so many songs about Stormtroopers. As Kermit once sung,
why are there so many songs about Stormtroopers?
And what's on the other side? Fuck the Force.
Funnily enough, I actually did start writing a parody of that song many years ago, but I decided against it. You can't improve perfection.
No. Rainbow Connection is one of my favourite songs, and in fact was also the name that I did some solo stuff under quite a few years ago now. So yes, in fact I've got a demo album somewhere that was done under the name Rainbow Connection. I think it was called Songs from an Island. Don't know why. But
Nice.
There we go. Insight into things in the past. But yeah, so anyway, back on topic. This track is by an 11-piece soul band who incorporate 2 lead singers and a 5-piece horn section. And they hail from Canada. They're called the Commotions, and you can check them out on, again, YouTube, all the usual places, and at their own website, thecommotionsband.com. And this is their track called Trooper Strut.
He causes a commotion when the music starts, he's floating, driving in a land far, far away. Cruising at the speed of light to storm the rebels at first sight, with dance moves that impress Princess Leia. He might be short for true, but dropping nerves, he ain't no herder, as he slays the competition on the floor. Moves like the forces in his step, spinning round like Boba Fett, jumped off a moon base just to get to Endor. Now he's no master with his blaster, but he's a Sith on his feet. He can call out any Jedi from Naboo to Tatooine. He's one with the Force, and he doesn't need backup. He's staying alive on the Empire side. Watch that trooper strut. Better than Han Solo, he's a modern virtuoso. His planetary shuffle can't be beat. He can hustle like a smuggler, holds his cards like Donald Glover. He's the first to shoot and last to take the heat. Moves with authority when that bass drops. He's more than just a space hop, mesmerizing rebels with that smile. Watching him's a bitter pill. He's a trooper they can't kill, even underwater dancing Gungan style. No master with his blaster, but he's a Sith on his feet. He can call out any Jedi from Naboo to Tatooine. He's one with the Force, and he doesn't need backup. He's staying alive on the Empire side. Watch that trooper strut. Watch that trooper strut. Strong in this one.
aren't the droids we're looking for.
Okay, and that was The Commotions with Trooper Strut. Remember and check them out, thecommotionsband.com, and on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Bebo, wherever you can find music, there you will find them. Carl, this is a Trooper special.
Yes.
What's your favourite Trooper helmet?
Favourite Trooper helmet? I think I've probably mentioned before, I am a bit of a TK collector. I'm just looking up at my CD shelf here, and indeed out of the window, and there are quite a few Trooper models, Trooper helmets, empty Volvic water bottles.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper rubber duck, tiki mugs, and yeah, they're all TKs. And there's just something about that original design that I guess it's with many people of my age. Many people. It's the thing of that is one of the first sights from A New Hope that we saw back in the cinema in 77, 78.
Yeah.
And it sort of stuck with me ever since then. However, I do also have several of the newer troopers. I did go off on a bit of a tangent with the Executioner Trooper, which I did quite like.
Oh, yeah.
From that was Last Jedi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the new era Stormtrooper helmet with the black stripe down it.
Nice.
And again, looking up to the shelf, I can also see the Galaxy's Edge Mountain Trooper.
Yeah.
Which I do like. But yeah, I'm a stickler for tradition, I guess. And I come back to that TK, which ironically, I don't own the Black Series TK helmet. Something I am hoping to rectify.
My eldest has one. It's a really, really, really good job they've done on that.
Yeah.
We've only got a couple of them. The Black Series helmet's got that one and the Poe Dameron X-Wing pilot helmet, and I'm waiting for the Wedge helmet.
Oh, nice.
To come, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I reckon we'll probably see, given how they were waxing lyrical about the Anton Merrick figure and how they'd done the paint job on the helmet for that and everything. Yeah. I would not be at all surprised to see that one hit the shelves at some point as well.
Yeah, it'd be good if they did that. Get a Biggs out there as well, because he's got a sweet helmet. That's the one I used to have.
The nice checkerboard on it, yeah.
Back in the day when I was a Rebel Legion member, I had a Biggs helmet.
There we go.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Trooper?
There's two that really stand out to me. So, I mean, obviously the classic designs are all fantastic, but the one that I'm drawn to constantly is the Shore Trooper from Rogue One.
Yes.
I just love that colour of it, just the look of it. It's stunning. And there's probably the lesser known one, which I really dig as well, is the Imperial Combat Driver from Star Wars Rebels, which was kind of like, how would I describe it? It's a little bit like some of the early designs for the Stormtrooper helmet, but with like the Imperial kind of ATST helmet shape on.
Oh, yes, I know the one you mean, yes.
It's kind of like, I want to say like a grey teal kind of colour with white. That's what I was really...
A little bit like the one that they had for Ezra when he was training at the academy.
Yeah, a little bit similar to that.
Yeah. It's I know the one you mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's it.
Those are my two favourites.
Shore Trooper is another good one. And completely forgot one of my other favourites, the Range Trooper.
Yeah, that's cool.
How could we forget the Range Trooper? Even in his Santa incarnation.
Yeah, especially in his Santa.
Especially in his Santa incarnation. Yeah, we can't get the wrong side of Santa.
No, absolutely. Keep on the good list.
Yeah.
We need to get all these Black Series figures and helmets and
yes,
vintage collection.
Yes, and before we even know it, we've come to the end of another show.
No.
Yes. So we're off to our second jobs now to pay for all these Black Series that we've just been trawling over.
I'm not going to my job. I'm going to watch Loki. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes, that's
before
also
it's spoiled for me.
Yes, I think I may well be doing a very similar thing myself. So we'll sign off and hope the world is getting back to normal wherever you may be as we edge ever closer to some sort of normality, he says with fingers crossed. And it just remains for us to tell you about our last song, which is artist that we've played on the show before, the Yavin 4, and this one is called Dewback Patrol, and this has a special dedication attached to it as well.
Yay.
Because in the month of June 2021, a good friend of ours, Marsha Parkins, who is an official tops artist for Star Wars, has a special birthday. So from Greg and myself and all of us at Fantha Tracks, we'd like to wish Marsha a very happy birthday. Happy birthday! And yeah, so this one is dedicated to Marsha. This is Yavin 4 and Dewback Patrol.
Look, sir, droids.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Move along.
Thanks for listening to Desert Planet Discs. If you want to stay part of the action and up to date on all the latest Star Wars news, check out the Fantha Tracks app via the App Store on your mobile device.
You can contact us via email at radio@fanthatracks.com. Comment, like and share on any of our social media feeds at Fantha Tracks, and be sure to subscribe. Leave a review, preferably a 5-star one, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher or smart speaker of choice.
Don't forget to head to fanthatracks.com/radio, home of Fantha Tracks Radio, and follow us on our social media feeds at Fantha Tracks, and bookmark fanthatracks.com for all the latest in Star Wars news.
I'm a secret Miley Cyrus fan.